Information on how you can participate, purchase, and be a part of SportsSafe. You can check them out on the web at www.sportsafe.com. That's sports with a Z, safe.com. Or go to nationalyouthsportsradio.com and click on the SportsSafe banner. You can also email them at info@sportsafe.com. Give them a call at 1-800-970-3886. SportsSafe. Play safe.
You're listening to NYSR, National Youth Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the Kennie Long Show here on NYSR, National Youth Sports Radio. So that's what you're after, Sheldon Thompson. That's what you're after. Facebook Live right now. Sheldon Thompson's in the Facebook Live and also listening here on NYSR National Youth Sports Radio, and he's after me about my Cornhuskers. Nebraska Cornhuskers. What can I say about the Nebraska Cornhuskers right now? They are my team. They will always be my team, first and foremost. Let me just make sure I put that out there because some of you may doubt that, and I don't know why you would doubt it, but I'm telling you right now, don't doubt it. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are my team, and they always will be regardless of where they're at or what they've done. With that being said, I am absolutely beside myself. How do you lose to Northern Illinois? Northern Illinois. Now, there you can point a lot of fingers right now when it comes to the Nebraska program. You can point a lot of fingers right now. I know the AD came out blasting after that loss. He came out publicly. He never really does many press conferences and acknowledges that he doesn't. He leaves it to the coaches. He stays out of it. He leaves them to do their job. But he came out this time. And this time he had some things to say. Now, I'm hoping it resonates with this team. I hope it resonates with this team. And I got to be honest. Nebraska here in the last few years have had problems with finding the right fit when it comes to coaching. Part of the problem, and I got to admit, I may be part of that problem as well. Part of the problem is we've had such a rich history with our coaches and the way Nebraska runs their offense that it's hard to change. It's hard to accept that change. There are changes in the way Nebraska plays right now, and it may not be sitting well. Mike Riley is a different style of coach. And based on what I saw against Northern Illinois, I don't know if it's a case of recruiting problems or he's just not reaching the players. Because that was a piss-poor example of a top-tier college football team. There's a reason why they're not even getting top 25. They're not getting single votes for a top 25 position right now. Just absolutely horrible. And I've got no problem stating that about my team. Nebraska needs to get it together. They need to get it together. I can understand certain schools that you lose to, but not Northern Illinois. And not in Lincoln. You cannot lose to a Northern Illinois. You just can't. You can't. That should have been a warm-up game heading into conference play. It should have been a warm-up game heading into conference play. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to say it. You cannot lose in that manner to a team like Northern Illinois. There could be some changes coming in Lincoln. There could be some changes coming. I mean, Tanner. Let's look at passing. Tanner Lee, 120 attempts at passing, 63 completions for 789 yards. His pass completion rate is at 52%, and he's only averaging 6.5 yards a catch. He's got more interceptions than he does touchdowns. He's got 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Trey Brandt is your top rusher right now with 51 carries at 299 yards. He's only averaging 5.9, almost 6 yards a carry. DeMornay Pearson L has had 2 carries, and he's averaging 11.5 yards. He's at 23 yards on those 2 carries. Stanley Morgan Jr. is probably the bright spot when you're looking at this offense. 18 receptions, 299 yards. He's averaging 16.6 yards a catch, and he's got 44 touchdown for 44 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns on the year. This is not the year for the Cornhuskers. I can tell you that right now. And I knew there was trouble to begin with. I mean, our first game against Arkansas State, you win 43-36. You gave up 36 points to Arkansas State. Okay, first game jitters, I get it, no problem. You go in and you're playing a quality team like Oregon. You give up a load of points in the first half, but you make a nice showing in the second half. You come back in that game, you almost get back into it and possibly win it. You go down 42-35. I can almost live with that, even though I don't like the fact you're giving up 42 points in a football game. Where is the defense at that point? But I get it. It's Oregon. I get it. No problem. I see that. Then we get Northern Illinois, and we give up 21 points at home to Northern Illinois. They lost to Boston College 23-20. I don't even know who EIU is, but they won 38-10. They play in the MAC. They're in first place in the MAC West right now. Up next, they got San Diego State. I don't see Northern Illinois winning that game. Next game for the Huskers is Rutgers. I'm a little concerned. I'm worried. Because right now our defense can't stop anybody. You've given up 36, 42, and 21 points in 3 games. $99 points in 3 games. We've given up 99 points in 3 games. Can't have that. And that's what I'm seeing, Sheldon. I'm seeing that these players are not responding to Mike Riley's leadership. And I don't know if that's what the AD is seeing. Maybe that's why he chose to speak up this year after this game. Maybe that's why he chose to speak up, because he's seeing the same thing. Yeah, and the Big Ten, the Big Ten has always been a strong conference. It's always been a strong conference. Everybody's just so high on the SEC because of Alabama. And I'm telling you right now, Alabama, they may be sitting at the number 1 spot right now. We're going to go over that. But Alabama, to me, they've got nobody to play in the SEC. They've got no one to play in the SEC. So, of course, they're just going to run through everybody. They ran into a Clemson team last year that had their number. Great football game. And no knock on Alabama, They always have a great football program. They're always right there in the mix each and every year. I get it. But they're getting weaker because your conference is weak. Your conference is weak. You've got nobody else in the SEC. ACC is going to overtake the SEC. Big Ten, I think, is already taken over. Big Ten is already over the SEC. What's really going to suck for Alabama and all the other teams in the SEC, because they can't beat the Alabama, is the Big 12. If the Big 12 gets stronger than the SEC, expect Texas A&M to all of a sudden say, hey, can we come home? Can we come home? Yeah, big troubles. Big troubles there for Nebraska. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Baseball. Things shaping up for the playoffs. I think we got 1 week left here of the regular season for baseball. Cleveland Indians, their win streak ends at 22. What a ride that was. Congratulations to the Cleveland Indians. They are now the second all-time win streak leaders in the major leagues. And I heard this argument being made on Mike and Mike this morning on ESPN, and that, really Cleveland should be number one, because the number one team that holds that record, I can't even remember who it was, but it's way back. I want to say it's the Chicago Cubs, but there's a tie. There was a tie included in that record, and the argument being made that Cleveland should be the true leader in that stat because they don't have any ties. They won 22 straight. The current record holder did not win 22 straight because one of those was a tie. One of those is a tie. And I kind of agree. I kind of agree with Mike Golick. How can Cleveland not be the number one right now in the record books? They should be number one. They won 22 straight. There were no ties. They won those games. I need to do some research, and I may bring this up again tomorrow. I think I'm going to take a look and see who it was that's the number one spot. I want to see their record. I want to see when that tie came in. How many straight games did they win before that tie? When did that tie come into play, and why was it even included in the record books at that point? Because it's not a win. You tied. You can't count that as a win. So we'll have to take a look at that. Houston Astros clinching their division last night. Big celebration on that. First time since, I believe, 2005 that they've led their division. So congratulations to the Houston Astros. Wild card picture is shaping up. It's getting tighter. I know there's a big race there in the American League East between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Yankees have been winning some big games. They're winning them big. Boston is just hanging on right now. I think the Yankees have a 2-game deficit on Boston. I think they got 1 week to go here. We'll see what happens. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll talk more baseball tomorrow, as we'll do a little more research and find out where everybody's at, who's getting where, who's in the wild card picture right now. Has anybody clinched that wild card spot? I don't think there has been in either the American League or the National League. I think it's still up for grabs. A lot of jockeying going on in baseball right now. Getting to be the exciting time of baseball, the boys of October. College football. Yeah, this is the one. So the top 25 matchups that we had last week. We made our picks, and we went through. So we'll run down these scores here real quick as we take a look at this. We'll give you some background music here to this here. Top 25 matchups from last week. Here we go. Number 1, Alabama versus Colorado State. Alabama taking 41-23. No surprise there. Bleacher had Alabama, so did I. Oklahoma and Tulane. Number 2, Oklahoma. No problem with Tulane. 56-14. Expected that.